Welcome back to California Live. American Ninja Warrior is in its 12th season, and joining us right now, Matt and Akbar. How are you two doing?
Doing well, Malou. Excited for the show to be coming back. Just amazing.
Yeah, well, we're doing great. Yeah, same here. I echo that same thing. It's been a long time waiting. We were waiting, didn't know that this season was going to happen, and it did. We were able to pull it off. So, yeah, we got a lot to be excited for this special season.
So, Matt, what about the training for all these athletes? They train at home?
Well, the reality is a lot of these ninjas were very well trained. We were supposed to start on March 12th. And March 11th was the day that the NBA canceled, March Madness canceled. We canceled. And so we postponed until we were able to actually pull this off. And the training was unlike anything they've ever done. But it kind of went back to the beginning. Some of them actually own gyms. They were able to get into their gyms. But for most of them, they were doing what they did before these gyms existed, figuring out ways to train at home. And I know everybody has figured out, for those who are pursuing fitness during the pandemic, other people, we've decided to give ourselves some time off. But these athletes just found such creative ways to get ready for this.
And so what do these athletes look like? I also know that, family and friends weren't able to participate or be there, right? So everything's sort of different.
It was different, but what was amazing, I think, was that everyone knew that. Everyone knew that this wasn't going to be like any previous season. So we're in a dome that can seat up to 80,000 people. We would have 3 ninjas in the dome at any one time. The only way we could have a crowd was to actually have jumbotrons, every obstacle or every other obstacle, where we would have their families FaceTiming in live to be able to interact. And while the energy might have been different, everybody who was there, we all felt the energy of having been locked up for months, staying at home with worry, with no end in sight, to being here. And it was like kids being let out of school for recess. Everyone on our crew, everyone from the caterers to the lighting people to Akbar and myself to the ninjas, everybody felt grateful that we were there and being able to do something that gave us all a sense of normalcy and made everyone just happy to be able to be doing something that felt like things we did before.
It sounds like this might even be the most exciting season ever,
Yeah. Well, I would say so. I would say it's the most exciting season because there were so many different variables and so many changes that we had to make adjustment to. And it's the way we adjusted to it, I thought, made it great. But, I joke in this, but there's a little bit of, sincerity in that. I think the course designers had a little bit more extra time to make it a lot harder for the ninjas. Well, you know what? Now we could actually have 4 extra months to design something crazy. So we have a brand new obstacle called corkscrew. When you see it, you're gonna know like this thing is the screwiest thing we've ever seen on American Ninja Warrior. But there's some other obstacles on there. When you see it, you're just going like it's not even humanly possible to even do it.
And we always say that, Malou. Every season we have obstacles going, nobody's going to figure this out. And inevitably, the ninjas find a way. And it's such a blast when you see them solve this. And the other thing that was so great, I think, was seeing the joy people had competing. And whether they fell, whether they got their first buzzer, whether they got their 10th buzzer, whatever it was, the joy these athletes had being out there was great. And in particular for some of them, we had a lot of frontline heroes, people who are first responders, people who are nurses in the ICU, doctors who are out there who've been dealing with this more closely than just about anybody. And for them being out there and being able to do something that reminds them of how life was before the pandemic, I think that's why we're so excited for people to see this show. Is we've all been hungry for things that make us forget what we're going through, for things that remind us of the way life was and the way hopefully life will be in the future. And I think Ninja Warrior is that show.
Well, so excited to check it out. These ninjas are going to show us how to overcome obstacles, right? Yeah. All right, Matt, Akbar, thank you very much.